Good afternoon. Welcome in. It's Where the 99 Lead. It's a program presented by the University of Pikeville as we talk about the University of Pikeville. I'm Andrew Joyce and joined by Chandra Massner, Associate Professor of Communication at the University of Pikeville. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Of course, with the Communication Department, we're going to talk today about a study abroad program, which I find extremely interesting. We're also going to hear from some students that have participated in that program. But before we go abroad, let's talk about the communication program at the University of Pikeville, because I'm not sure there are a lot of people in the community that realize what type of classes might be offered in the communication field. So let's talk a little about that department.
Okay, I'd be glad to. It's an exciting time on the Hill at the University of Pikeville.
In many aspects.
Absolutely. We are growing and we are expanding. I've been with the communication department since the beginning, and we've gone through a lot of revisions and changes. Currently, we offer a major and a minor in communication that focus on both a theoretical and a practical base. Last year, we were very pleased to add some broadcasting-oriented courses, and students are beginning to get some hands-on experience with Pike TV,
Sure.
our local government access channel, and they are producing work, they're filming, they're writing, they're doing a number of activities and getting experience there. I had 3 students that interned at the channel this summer, had an excellent experience. Other majors in the program, they have landed internships in local radio stations. They've been here, they've been at WYMT, they've been at the hospital doing public relations work, they've worked at the newspaper. So we've had internships really all over the media locally, and then also in some other aspects of communication. Some of my students like to approach communication from an interpersonal standpoint, and so they go through counseling direction, and we've had students work with a local YMCA, the Appalachian Pregnancy Care Center in town, and different organizations where they've gotten experience kind of working with people one-on-one. So there's a lot of variety of places that students intern and then end up with full-time jobs after they graduate. I've got alumni all over the region now, and I'm so excited to see them when I go to different events. I know I went to your event when you guys had your birthday party down at the Expo Center, and I saw a couple of my alumni who had stopped by, and I got to talk with them. And when I go to different events in town, it's always great because they're right in the middle of everything, event planning, public relations.
Sure.
They're doing a number of different activities. So they do well after they leave us on the Hill.
And communication, it's becoming a lost art. With this generation, there's a lot of electronic communication that goes on, and the communication field is just as important today. And whether they land a job in the business world, in the media world, you can use those communication skills in every aspect of life, and that's why I find it so important that it is offered as a minor, as a major, whether they plan to go into the media field or not.
Absolutely. You can do anything with communication.
Sure.
And in fact, this Saturday, I have some alumni that are going to come back to campus, and they're speaking right about that topic. They're talking about what can you do with a communication degree.
Right.
And we hope to have students come and listen with them and hear their experiences and what they've been doing so far out in the community with their communication degree, a variety of different things. I've had students land jobs in management, in different aspects of the media, in counseling fields. They go on and they get master's degrees in social work, perhaps psychology, business. They go a number of different directions. What a lot of people don't realize is no matter what you graduate in, when you go and you apply for jobs, everyone wants someone with good communication skills.
Sure.
And those skills include written and oral. And we provide curriculum that really addresses all of those needs.
Talking with Chandra Massner with the University of Pikeville Communication Department, also the KEYS program, the Study Abroad program, and it is Where the 99 Lead. presented by the University of Pikeville, as we talk about those historic landmark 99 steps that lead to the University of Pikeville campus, but also what we talk about with this program, those steps also lead to the community. They lead to downtown Pikeville, and further, they lead to the world and where graduates land in our world. A former tag of the college, changing our world one graduate at a time, and it is so, so true. We talk about communication department, staying closer to home maybe, but today we're going to talk about the study abroad program, and I find this very interesting. It's called the KEYS program, and first of all, tell me when this began at the University of Pikeville, then Pikeville College campus. How did it get started? A little history of the program.
We've been involved with KEYS, and KEYS stands for the Kentucky Institute for International Studies, for about 4 to 5 years now. And we became full members at that time under the leadership of Dean Wally Campbell, who very much supported students going out and getting an international experience. And this particular program allows all of our students, regardless of major, to have the opportunity to study abroad all around the world. There are actually 20 different countries that students can study in, choose to study in during the summer terms, and the programs are about 3 to 5 weeks in length. The other really good thing with this program is that our faculty at the University of Pikeville can apply to actually teach in the 20 locations around the world.
And I understand you've done that.
I have done that twice. I was blessed to go to Costa Rica twice and take UPike students with me, and I had an incredible time. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It is life-changing. It is incredible to go abroad and teach in a completely different environment. Being in communication, I taught intercultural communication while I was down there.
Right.
And you just can't imagine how a student learns intercultural communication when they are living in an international environment. It is so much better than learning about it in a textbook and trying to apply it. They're applying it every day, all day, 24 hours a day during their time there. They see everything at work, from the country's religion, their traditions, their food, their language. They're experiencing everything on an ongoing basis, and it's just such a rich way to learn that particular subject. And it's exciting. It's exciting to see students who get in the country and are very timid the first day,
Right.
Sometimes scared to death with like deer in the headlights kind of looks. And by the end of the time there, they're relaxed, they're intermingling and talking with people in the culture. They don't want to leave, and they're crying when they get on the planes. Right. It's very, very rewarding to be a part of that.
So a study abroad program, students from the university travel to Costa Rica, and they don't go to Costa Rica and land in a classroom, just changing from one classroom here to one classroom there. Talk about the program. How does it develop? What kind of activities take up their time when they're there?
Well, each program is different. Each country is a little bit different, but all of the KEYS programs feature American professors that teach in these locations. So you have professors from other Kentucky colleges and universities, and Tennessee and Indiana also. And we are teaching our classes in English unless we are teaching a language course.
Right.
And they do offer language courses in various countries that correspond with the language of that place. But if you're not taking a language course, then your classes are taught in English by American instructors. So that makes it a little bit easier for those students who are studying abroad who might have felt a little bit more apprehension of going to another country and studying with someone whose first language is not English,
right.
and feeling a language barrier. So there's no barrier with your instructors. Actually, you feel pretty comfortable with your instructors since they're from places similar to your home institution.
Sure.
Then you get down there and, well, in my case, you get down there because you're going south, and you have class time, and you have time where you're in classes, and the courses are generally taught on college campuses in different locations around the world. Sometimes, however, we will have class in a non-traditional setting.
Right.
I actually got to take my students in intercultural communication to a Costa Rican radio station.
How does that compare?
Well, I found it not to be much different than here.
Okay.
Actually, I've been to East Kentucky Broadcasting before, and so I know that you guys compact in a very small space,
Sure.
a lot of workroom, and the same was true in Costa Rica.
Right.
Their studio was about the same size. Their equipment was very similar.
Right.
Everything was kind of very similar. And then they invited us to go to what is, I guess, kind of equivalent to the sports guys out in the town, kind of doing a live remote.
Very
and
cool.
My students went to a local Costa Rican restaurant where there was a panel discussion of local events.
Wow.
And they got to talk on the air there as well. So they got to experience both kinds of environments, very similar to at home. But it was kind of a neat experience. We did the same thing at the local newspaper. We went to a small newspaper there, and they got to see that they use the same computer equipment and software that we use back home to lay out and design our Bare Facts, which is the college newspaper.
Wow. Very, very interesting. And of course, we'll hear from some of those students in just a little while. Talking with Chandra Massner, Associate Professor of Communication. We're talking about the Study Abroad program. Okay, radio station Costa Rica, sports guys type show in Costa Rica. I'm wondering if there's a broadcaster study abroad program.
Well, there are a couple of courses that you can take.
I'm not talking about college students. I'm talking about
Oh,
taking
for
a
you.
broadcaster on a vacation.
We could probably do that. We could
Yeah.
probably swing you along
It
as a
sounds like
chaperone, maybe.
It sounds like a great trip. It really does. You had a chance to teach students that were on study abroad programs as well. What type of students and from where?
Well, with the KEYS programs, all of our students are from Kentucky, Tennessee, and Indiana, from colleges and universities there. There were some students from other states that go to those colleges and universities. But I think another thing that our students from University of Pikeville learn when we go to study abroad trips with students from other Kentucky colleges and universities is how much they're similar. Regardless, we had students from University of Kentucky, from U of L, from Bowling Green, the big state schools.
Sure.
Then we also had students from Pikeville and Campbellsville and Middle Tennessee State. So we had students from a variety of different size campuses, and they really gelled together. We had 35 students all together on the Costa Rica trip, and mostly female, heavy female, but a mixture of men and women from different sized institutions, and they really gel together. They become like a family over the period that they're there, and I think they form really lasting friendships with those people
Sure.
from across the state that they otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to do. And they're in different majors. All different majors come and study abroad. They learn different things. In addition to my communication courses, there were courses in Spanish, education, biology, and geography that were taught. So it's a really great experience.
No
Students can also choose different programs with different courses. So they can kind of choose courses that they might have an interest in, and as well as the location that they have an interest to go to.
Tremendous educational opportunity for students at the University of Pikeville. You had a chance to teach in Costa Rica. How did you prepare for the trip to Costa Rica for teaching there, maybe your first time when you really didn't know what to expect?
Well, one good thing that I had going for me is my director of my program is Victor Ballestero, and he is a professor of education at Morehead State University. Victor is kind of a unique individual. He has dual citizenship in the United States and Costa Rica, and so when he brings us to the country, it was like bringing us home to show us everything. The wonderful thing is that he knows everyone in Costa Rica. The first time I went, we actually went to the Costa Rican White House. He knows senators. He's very well connected. And so we are treated like royalty when we are down there because of who we are with. Everyone knows him very well. That kind of gets us in on the radio station and the newspaper and everything. So I was very blessed to have someone that had such variety of experiences in the country and really helped me a lot. However, it was kind of unique in terms of, well, what experiences in the classroom should we do? What kinds of assignments? How do we handle things? It's kind of rough when you have to spend 3 days on the beach.
Oh, yeah, real tough gig.
Real tough. And we spend time several days hiking in the rainforest, and we handle baby crocodiles and search for poison dart frogs and go to a butterfly farm.
Wow.
And lay poolside at the resort in front of a volcano that's spewing lava and active. It's really rough. But I decided on an approach that was very reflective.
Right.
Because I think that students learn so much more if they're reflecting on their experiences and not just doing busy work.
Right.
So they kept a daily journal
Sure.
about what was important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And we also shared photographs this time because everyone had their cell phones, their iPhones. And every day in class, we would go around and we would share a picture that really spoke to them about the day before's activities, something that summarized that day to them. And it was amazing to see the kinds of really neat things that happened with them during the days, interacting with Costa Rican students or people there, some of the wildlife, and some of the experiences that they had.
Very, very nice. When we come back, we'll talk to a couple of students. Who have you brought with you today?
I've got Lisa Trivet, and Lisa studied with me in Costa Rica. She was one of 4 U-Pike students that went with me this summer. And Hannah Vinson's also here, and she took advantage and went and studied abroad in Greece this summer.
Very nice.
With Keys, and she had a very exciting, interesting experience because of some of the political events that surrounded
Absolutely.
Greece this summer.
Absolutely.
So they both had very interesting experiences.
Talking with Chandra Massner, Associate Professor of Communication at the University of Pikeville. When we come back, we'll hear from the students and their experience in the study abroad program. We're not kicking you out. You'll come back and we'll wrap it up. We'll get some more information about the program if someone's interested in the future. It's Where the 99 Lead. It's brought to you by the University of Pikeville. We'll return with students right after this. Welcome back in. It's Where the 99 Lead, a program presented by the University of Pikeville as we talk about the University of Pikeville and those historic 99 steps that lead from campus to the community and to the world and beyond. And the world and beyond includes a study abroad program. We're talking about the KEYS program and joined by a couple of students from the University of Pikeville. Lisa Trivet. And Lisa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You traveled abroad last summer.
I did.
And you traveled where?
I traveled to Costa Rica.
Also with us, Hannah Vinson. And Hannah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Where did you travel last summer?
To Greece.
You've got some stories to tell.
Yep.
Absolutely. I would guarantee it. And Lisa, I know you traveled, you had someone you were familiar with traveling in your group as well. We want to talk about your Costa Rica visit and the program in general. This was your first trip?
This was my first trip, and it was a very broad experience.
As it should be. How did you prepare to make this trip to Costa Rica?
Mentally, I had to overcome my fear of flying.
Okay.
I've never flown overseas, so it was a very wild experience.
Costa Rica, of course, classrooms a little different than the UPike classrooms, but not a lot, I would imagine.
No, it was a regular classroom. Everything, it had desks, a board. It was
Same
neat.
old, same old.
It was.
Got a chance to go to a radio station there?
Yes, we did.
And was it any different than what you see here?
Not that much different. It was a little different. Their radio station was huge.
Okay.
It was very tall, and their radio station covers the whole entire country of Costa Rica.
Tell us about some of the experiences you had while in Costa Rica that you'll take with you the rest of your life? Those that you can on the air.
I was very homesick the first 2 weeks, and I was calling home every single day, about, I don't know, twice an hour maybe. And I was pretty homesick, and I finally got over that and realized that I'm in a different country and I need to live it up while I can, I guess.
If someone was considering taking part in the study abroad program in the future and you had a chance to advise them, what would you tell them about your experience?
I would tell them to go. It doesn't matter how homesick you get. When you look back on it, it's a very positive impact on your life.
What kind of benefits did you gain?
I gained I want to learn Spanish now, because being in a country that I could not express how I felt or express what I wanted or what I needed, it made it very difficult. So I'm going to try and learn some Spanish, and I want to go somewhere else. It was awesome.
First time's not enough. You've got to keep going.
Yeah.
What's your major, Lisa?
Communication.
Doing a great job. Did you learn anything about communication while you were in Costa Rica?
I did. I learned that even though you can't communicate, if you can't communicate verbally, there are a lot of nonverbal ways you can communicate.
Absolutely. So you would give it the study abroad program, grading on a typical grading scale. What would you give it?
An A+.
A+. I like that. Hannah Vincent with the University of Pikeville, and before we go any further, what's your major?
Criminal justice, but I'm going to be a speech pathologist.
Okay, interesting. And your trip was a little different than Lisa's. You traveled to Greece last summer.
Yes, sir.
And it was an exciting time to be in Greece.
It was very exciting.
Talk about some of your experiences while you were there.
The first time we arrived in Athens, the riots were smaller, and people were just trying to voice what they wanted before the vote. And in our third time in Athens was when they voted, and it was not what the people wanted, and it got really bad. They marched by our hotels. They had sticks with fire on them, just, busting out windows. I couldn't imagine that happened in America, so it was a really neat experience. I actually got in some tear gas. So
Really?
Yes.
Real life education.
Yes.
In Greece, of course. You said at first the riots weren't that big.
No. They were big, but they weren't violent.
Right.
Because typically the Greeks aren't violent.
More of a demonstration.
Yes.
And I think it surprised a lot of folks here when they saw some of the media coverage of the riots there, because the Greeks typically aren't a violent type people. They are very, very peaceful usually. What did you expect when you went to Greece? Did you have any idea these things may happen when you got there?
No, I just thought it was going to be beautiful, and the islands were, but Athens was not. Athens surprised me. There were people just on the streets, and they don't have health care. So you would see people on the streets that had cuts and stuff, and they're just there, laying out for you to see. So it was definitely an eye-opener to the way that people live, and how even though our system isn't the way that we would like it to be, it's still better than what other countries have.
There you go. Great advertisement for the United States of America right there. And we're talking with Hannah Vincent. She visited Greece last summer with the Study Abroad program. And some of your experiences, I guess you got your first taste of tear gas.
Yes.
Not expected, but your classroom experiences, what did you take away from the program?
I guess I learned a lot. I took mythology, and it was mainly stories, but we didn't have classrooms. We stayed in motels, so we would meet on the Protara or on the Parthenon. So it was very broad.
Little different than a UPike classroom.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. And what benefits did you receive for this? What do you take away from the Study Abroad program that you could share with someone who's considering the program in the future?
It was an amazing experience for me because I'm from Logan, West Virginia. It's a small town. Everyone knows everybody, so I'm typically pretty backwards. And for me, I want to see the world and expand myself in ways that I never thought that I could before. And it's made me change my major and want to graduate a year early. And I would just encourage students to do it because you don't know what's going to happen later on in life, and you don't know when you're going to get this experience again. So even if you have to take out a loan or anything, it will be well worth it because you learn so much about yourself and just how well you have it, even though you think you don't.
Right. Hannah Vinson and Lisa Trivett, University of Pikeville students and ladies, thanks so much for your time, and sounds like a tremendous program. Keep studying hard, and as soon as you graduate, we expect you to travel those 99 steps and change our world for the better. Good afternoon. When we come back, we'll talk with Chandra Massner, Associate Professor of Communication at the University of Pikeville, with more Where the 99 Lead. Welcome back in. It's Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, as we talk about the KEYS program at the University of Pikeville. Truly, Where the 99 Lead from the University of Pikeville campus to other countries and across this world of ours. And we had students in Lisa Trivett and Hannah Vinson with the University of Pikeville who are just back from a study abroad program this summer. As we rejoined now by Chandra Massner, the Associate Professor of Communication at the University of Pikeville. You've been involved in the study abroad program, and two great young ladies there, well representing the university and their study abroad experience. Let's talk about now. If someone's interested in the study abroad program, they've heard something that interested them, they're excited, they want to be a part of the program. How can we do that?
Well, students at the University of Pikeville can come see me or email me or call me, or John Howie, my partner in crime with Study Abroad. He is our campus representative for KEYS, and I'm a board member. So we work together getting information out to students. You can call me at 218-5004 or email me at chandramassner@upike.edu, but all that information's on the college website. You can also go to the KEYS website, www.kiis.org, and find out information about the summer 2012 classes that are available. We are offering courses in Argentina, Austria, Germany, Turkey, Italy, Japan, Mexico, France, Quebec in Canada, Slavic Europe, southern Spain, Tanzania, all over the world you can study. And you can get information on the website about the individual programs, courses that are offered in those individual programs, and then the cost of the individual programs. They do vary in cost depending on where you're going in the world.
Right.
If you study in Latin America, it's usually a little bit cheaper because the dollar is stronger against those currencies. Whereas if you study in Europe, it's going to be a little bit more expensive because the dollar is not as strong against the euro.
Right.
So it does make a difference where you study as the cost. But you will find that the KEYS programs are extremely affordable for study abroad programs. If you compare program to program with other companies that offer such programs, you'll find that the KEYS is a lot more affordable because we are a consortium of colleges. Right now, our office is at Western Kentucky University, and they underwrite kind of the tuition. So the program fees include 6 credits of college tuition.
That was my next question. Do students receive credit for this?
They do. They earn up to 6 credit hours for their 3 to 5 weeks in the country, which is an absolute deal.
Right.
And then it includes their room and board for the time of their stay. For instance, I know that Hannah and Lisa had such a wonderful time that they are plotting currently to try to get to go to Italy this summer. And the Italy program is about $3,900. Mm-hmm. And that will be a 4-week program, and that includes their 6 credit hours of tuition and room and board for those 4 weeks.
Wow.
So if you think about it, it's not that much more Students who choose to stay at home and study
Right.
are still going to have to pay tuition and still come up with a room and board for
Right.
the summer. And it's not going to be that much different to study abroad. So it's really a good deal for students to study somewhere else instead of study here.
And there's no way they'll ever match the experiences gained by studying abroad.
Absolutely not. I encourage students, I don't care where they go, just get out of here and study somewhere and see the world.
Not that this is a bad place.
No, but in the summer, it's a great opportunity. Get out and
Absolutely.
see, explore.
Again, if they'd like to talk with you about the program, they have a student or maybe a future student that maybe is an incoming freshman next fall, and they want to talk about the program and learn more. How do they get a hold of you?
They can call me at the college at 218-5004, or they can email me at Chandra Massner at upike.edu. And that information is on the college website. You can look me up in the faculty staff directory there. And you can also go to the website for Keys, www.kiis.org, and find out more information about the individual programs. And I would really encourage parents of college-age students, whether you're at UPike or your students or somewhere else in the state. Most colleges are affiliated with Keys. I really encourage parents to somehow encourage their children, their students, to get out and explore the world and study abroad somewhere. The benefits are just amazing.
Tremendous program, the Keys program, study abroad program. We've been talking with Chandra Massner. Thanks so much for your time and all you do, and keep pumping out those communication graduates, because I got a feeling I'm going to need a replacement one of these days.
You gonna retire someday?
Not soon.
They're gonna kick you and
Not
scream
soon. Not
when
soon.
you go out.
Thanks for all you do. Thanks for being here this afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
We're the 99 Lead. It's presented by the University of Pikeville. As we talk about the University of Pikeville and where those graduates end up when they take those 99 steps into the community and around the world. We've been talking about the study abroad program today. I'm Andrew Joyce for Chandra Massner, and our guests today, Lisa Trivet and Hannah Vinson. Good afternoon.